In this video, I'll walk you through the process of building a modern coffee table. I designed this coffee table to be made from a single sheet of plywood. It's a simplified version of a previous project, which you can check out in the video description. For this build, I'm using maple plywood because it's a high-quality hardwood with a great appearance. Any type of plywood will work, as long as it's 4 by 8 feet and 3/4 inch thick. Different woods have their pros and cons, so I suggest doing some research to find what suits your needs best. After getting my plywood cut in half at Home Depot, I make the remaining cuts with my circular saw. It's important to take your time and orient the pieces for the most visually appealing look. Since we're using pocket hole joints, we need to be thoughtful about the placement of the pocket holes. Try to avoid drilling them in areas where they'll be visible. Most of the table's interior won't be visible, so this part isn't too difficult. I'm using 1¼ inch pocket hole screws designed for 3/4 inch plywood. My hardworking son helps me assemble the lower frame. You can add some wood glue to strengthen the joint, but be careful not to get any on the exterior face like I did. You only need one side of the frame to be perfectly aligned. That's the side that will contact the rest of the table. Later, we'll install threaded furniture pads, which will help correct any misalignment. Now let's screw the walls into the lower surface, starting with one side and continuing around the table. I allowed a slight overlap of the wall since we'll be adding edge banding to the plywood edges. Just make sure the screws don't break through. Next, we add the remaining screws to the panels. I added glue inside the table for extra strength, but you can skip this step for a cleaner appearance. Now we can add the front panel. There are some imperfections from the cutting, but these can be sanded away. This top edge also needs to be flush with the side. Don't forget your PPE, boys. That looks much better. Now we can screw in the tabletop. I chose the better of the two larger pieces as the tabletop since it will be the most visible. It's a bit tricky to reach inside the table, but we'll manage. Next, we flip the table upside down and install the lower frame. Once we've ensured that it's centered, we can screw it in. Now we flip it back and prepare the surfaces for edge banding. I found one more spot that needed sanding. While we have the palm sander out, we can prepare the rest of the surfaces for staining. I recommend starting with 150 grit sandpaper and working up to at least 220. I got this huge roll of iron-on maple edge banding, which gives the table a really clean look. We'll go ahead and cover all the plywood edges now. I recommend cutting slightly more than you need, then trimming the excess with a razor blade. This table's starting to look pretty good. If you want to clean things up even more, you can use these pocket hole plugs to fill the holes. I was still concerned about the strength of the joint near the front left panel, so I decided to glue in a dowel rod. Now let's wipe down the surfaces with a tack cloth to remove any remaining dust. Since I'm using maple plywood, I'm going with a lighter colored gel stain. I chose golden oak. Keep in mind that maple doesn't take dark stains very well. Using a paper towel, I can apply the stain to an inconspicuous area first to make sure I like the color. Not too bad. Let's apply it everywhere now, and just one coat will do the trick. Finally, we'll apply a polyurethane finish. I'm using an oil-based poly, but I actually prefer the oil-modified water-based kind. But this is just what I have on hand. The warm gloss is ideal for this lighter stain because it adds a nice warm tint while preserving the natural color. Let's cover this whole thing. After 2 coats of polyurethane, we are nearly done. Some threaded furniture feet will make it easy to slide the table on carpet or hard floors. At last, the table is complete. Thanks for watching.